Hello children, see we have completed with the first lesson, that is Robin Hood. Now we will be moving to the second lesson. This lesson is really very popular, and you know this person because we have learnt many great things, or we have listened about many great things about this great leader. If you see, before starting the lesson children, if you see here, some pictures are there, see. Here you can see the spectacles, here you can see his chappals and stick, and here you can see the spinning wheel. If you see all these three things, you may remember one person. Who is that person, children? Yes, he is, he is our father of nation, that is Mahatma Gandhi. All these three things we can, if you see these three things, we remember Mahatma Gandhi, and what all things he has done for us you have learned in your previous grades, we can say. And now also we are going to see one of his some event, we can say, or we are going to see one thing what he has done for our country. You know children, he was a great freedom fighter. He tried very hard to get freedom for our country, and really he was very great person. He fought very bravely against those British people, and today we are staying in the independent country because of all these leaders, and one of this was Mahatma Gandhi. So this lesson we are going to see about that, the march to Dandi. Now we know this place Dandi. Here we have children, you may remember that when we have one program in a school, and that time we have done with that we can say one drama, like we have seen on the ground over there. So same thing we are going to listen about the story of Mahatma Gandhi and how they have marched towards Dandi for the one thing what they have done for the country. So we'll start with the lesson, that is the march to Dandi. See, on 31st January 1930, Lord Irwin, the Viceroy of India. Now children, you know that those days, that time, British, they were ruling over India, and this Lord Irwin, he was the Viceroy of India. You know children, he was the Viceroy of India, and on 31st January, that is 1930, Lord Irwin, the Viceroy of India, he received one letter. What was that letter? The letter listed the many unfair things the British were doing. One letter was written, and the letter was from Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, he had written a letter to the Viceroy, that is Lord Irwin, on 31st January 1930. He received that letter, and in that letter many things were listed. What were those things? That whatever unfair things that these British people they had done against the Indian people was listed in the letter, and this letter was from Mahatma Gandhi. He gave it to Lord Irwin, who was the Viceroy of India in those days. One of the things Gandhi had written about concerned the making of salt in India. Children, you know that time the people they were making salt in India, and one of the most thing was listed in that letter was about the making of salt in India. Something might have happened, and he might have struggled for that. So Mahatma Gandhi, he wrote in the letter specially about the making of salt in India. This was one of the things which was written in the letter. Earlier, the British government had passed a salt law. These British people, they were very famous in passing the laws. So one of the law this British government they had passed, that was about the salt law. What was that law? We see here. Indians were no longer allowed to make their own salt. See children, that those days the people they were earning very hard, and also these British people they had made them the slaves. They used to strive very hard, they used to work very hard, and that time these Indian people they started making their own salt, but British government they had passed the law. They did not like that Indian people they should earn something. So what they had done, they had passed a salt law that Indians will be no longer allowed to make their own salt. Means here also British people they will be making the salt. but were forced to buy expensive salt brought from Britain. Now in Britain, these British people, they were from Britain, and what they said that whatever salt is made in Britain will be these Indian people, they have to buy from those Britain people, and that salt was very expensive, means it was very they have to pay a lot of money for that salt. And they told that Indians will no longer make the salt now. The government could arrest and punish anyone who was caught making his own salt. So government, they passed a law that if we find any person, any Indian making salt here, they will be punished, they will be arrested, and they will be punished, and they will be punished very badly if they are found making the salt here. Only they have to buy the salt from the Britain people. Then the British had also taken control of all the salt factories in the country. These British people, they were very rude. What they did, they took the control of all the salt factories which were in India, and they did not allow a single Indian to make their own salt. Only they could make salt in India. They had also imposed a tax on Indian salt, and making it more expensive. What they did, they put the tax also on that Indian salt, and they made it more expensive so that the Indian people couldn't buy the salt. This was really injustice for the Indians. In his letter, Gandhi asked Lord Irwin to accept certain fair demands that he had made on behalf of the Indians. Now Gandhiji, he was really very angry on these British people, and he wrote a letter. He was a very straightforward person. He wrote a letter to Lord Irwin, who was the Viceroy of India, and what he did, he wrote in his letter that he demanded something in that letter, and he told that he has to accept certain demands that he had made on behalf of the Indian people. Indian people, they used to get scared of these British people, but on behalf of these Indians, what he did, he demanded something to the British Viceroy. He said that I'm going to demand a thing on behalf of my Indian people. And what was that? If not, he said he would break the salt law. And he said, I have demanded something to you, but if you did not agree with that demand of ours, we will break the salt law and ask the people of the country to do as well. And as well as I will tell the other people of my India that we will break the salt law, and we won't be, what we do, we won't be, we are not going to obey your salt law. So this, now Gandhiji was very angry on those people, on the British, and he wrote a letter to this Lord Irwin. Now let's see what had happened later on. Lord Irwin refused to accept any of the demands. Now this Lord Irwin, these British people never accepted the demands of Indians. They were always opposing the Indian people, and they were making them so angry. But these Indian people, they were helpless, but they were very brave, and they fought against those people. This Lord Irwin, what he did, as soon as he received the letter of Mahatma Gandhi, he refused to accept the demand. He did not accept that demand. So Gandhi put his plan into action. Now Gandhiji, what he had done, he had planned a thing that if you do not agree our demand, we are going to break the salt law. He just wrote in the letter, but when he came to know that Lord Irwin, he has refused to accept his demand, he told the Indians that now we will, whatever plan I have done, we will put that plan into the action. Then a march would begin at Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad. Now what he did, what he said, they will do a march towards Dandi, and we will start our march from Sabarmati Ashram from Ahmedabad. It would end at Dandi in Gujarat. Now this Dandi, this place was in Gujarat. It was 384 kilometers away from Sabarmati Ashram, where large deposits of salt crystals were left on the seashore. If you see on the seashore, there the last crystals, the children, the salt, then the last crystals were left on the seashore. And this Mahatma Gandhi, what he did, Gandhiji, he decided that we will be moving to Dandi from Sabarmati Ashram, from Ahmedabad till to Dandi, and will march towards Dandi and will break the salt law. We are not going to accept there anything now, because very politely he has written the letter, and he tried to convince that person, but he did not listen. This Viceroy Lord Irwin, he did not listen, he refused the demand. Then Gandhi planned to pick up the salt. No one could stop Indians from making their own salt. He said he picked up the salt, and he said that no one will stop my Indian people from making their own salt. That was the message he wanted to send the British, and through this march he wanted to send the British that no one will dare to stop my Indian people from making their own salt. Indian would not pay the salt tax or any other unfair tax. And what he said, we are not going to pay any tax at all, and whatever injustice you are doing with us, we are not going to bear it at all. So he said, we are not going to pay any other unfair tax which you levy on us. On 12th March 1930, see, on 12th March, now he has written the letter on 31st January 1930. So approximately after 12 to 13 days, after 1.5 months we can say, on 12th March 1930, Gandhi and 80 others set out on the long journey. He took some of the other Indian people, and approximately 80 people were there with him, and they set out on the march now. The British government did not believe people would be able to walk so far. It did not try to stop the marchers. When these British people, what they said, they are not able to walk for such a long distance, and these British people, they just kept quiet. They thought that these Indian people are not able to walk for a long distance. Then he did not try to stop the marches, and these British people also, what they did not try to stop the marches. What they thought, in between only they will run away from here, or they will go back to their places. But these Indian people, they did not do at all. They do not do such thing. In fact, it looked upon the whole idea as a joke. They thought they are just joking. These British people, what they thought, they are just joking, and they won't be able to cover up such a long distance. So these British people, they thought it like a joke for them, and they laughed on that joke. But Gandhi, he did not care at all. His group kept marching on. But Gandhiji, he did not wait, and he took his group and started his marching. The marchers passed through many villages and towns. Now, they by what they did, these marchers, they were along with Gandhiji, and they started moving through villages and towns. The Indian people greeted them with great excitement. When the other village people, they used to come to know that Gandhiji and his followers, they are coming now. So they used to wait for in a great excitement to greet them or to welcome them. Flower garlands and streamers were used to decorate the streets. They used to decorate the street. They used to decorate the street with the garlands and streamers, and they used to wait for Gandhiji and his followers in great excitement to welcome these people. Children sat on trees to keep a lookout. Now, these children, they were not knowing who was Gandhiji. They were very excited to see Mahatma Gandhi, and children, they used to climb up the trees, and they used to wait to see Gandhiji over there. As soon as one of them spotted the marchers, they would shout, "I see them." They would run to inform their families. If some person used to see that one of the person from the march, they used to see him, they used to run to their home and used to call their families to see Gandhiji and their followers. The marchers would greet the people who had gathered and walk on, and all the marchers would greet the people who had gathered and they used to walk on. They used to greet the people, they used to talk with them, ask them about their family, and then they used to move further for the march. Sometimes they stopped to eat and rest. For some time they used to stop there and eat, and then they used to rest and move the next day to the march. Everyone was greatly interested in the outcome of the Dandi March. Now everyone was very excited. What is going to happen again? What is going to happen further now? Gandhiji, he started his march towards, and all were eagerly waiting what will be the output or the outcome of this Dandi March. All were eagerly waiting for that. And newspapers kept the public informed about its progress, and daily the newspaper used to give the news to the public people that till where they have completed with the march. Means daily updates used to get from the newspapers. When the marchers reached the Mahi river, when these marchers and Gandhiji they reached Mahi river, they saw that it was too deep to wade across. Wade means what? It was very deep. That river was very deep, and how would these marchers they will cross the river? They were means a bit in we can say they were thinking about that how we'll cross this river. Gandhiji was not at all discouraged. He was not at all discouraged. He was just trying and trying to reach Dandi. He led the people to a place where the water was shallow. So what he did, he took the people, he was not at all discouraged, and he left the people to the other side through this shallow water. He was really very brave children, we can say. After 2.5 hours of stumbling and slipping, see it took 2.5 hours to cross that river, to cross that Mahi river. The marchers reached the other side, and after 2.5 or 3 hours we can say, all the marchers and Gandhiji they reached the other side of the river. Then on 5th April, the marchers reached Dandi late in the evening. So on 5th April, when they reached Dandi, on 5th April, they reached Dandi in the evening. Less than a month after they had set out. See children, they took 1 month to reach Dandi. But they were not at all disappointed, they were not at all discouraged. They went on to their work, and finally they reached Dandi in the evening on 5th April. They marched for at least for a month from when they have set out. The next morning Gandhi walked to the Arabian Sea. Next morning, early morning, Gandhiji what he did? He walked to the Arabian Sea. He bent down and picked up a lump of salty mud. See children, you know salt and mud they are mixed, and afterwards after filtration the salt is separated from the mud. He bent down, he took a lump of salt in his hand and he broke the salt law. Means whatever he had planned, that he in action he has done that plan, and he took out his action and he broke the salt law. What he had promised to the Britishers, he had done the same thing. Everyone cheered and shouted loudly. Everyone was very happy and they started shouting loudly. They were very happy. Gandhi boiled sea water to get the illegal but necessary salt. What he did, Gandhiji? See, he boiled the sea water, and after boiling, you know children, the salt is separated, and he separated the salt from there, and he told his supporters to do the same. He has done the same thing. He told his supporters to do whatever he had done. He boiled the sea water and he separated the salt. Across India, other leaders led people to follow in the footsteps of the Dandi marchers. Across India, other leaders also, what they did, even other leaders also, they followed Gandhiji's steps, and they came to this Dandi. C. Rajgopalachari led a march from Trichy to Vedanarayam on the east coast. So from other side, Rajgopalachari, he also started his march from Trichy and he came from the east coast. K. Kelappan walked from Calicut, we can say, to Pavanur on the west coast. Means from the west he came. Who? K. Kelappan. Some people walked all the way from Sylhet in Assam. Some people they came from Assam to Noakhali on the Bengal coast. From the Bengal they came. Where everywhere people made salt and openly challenged the British government. See, everywhere this Dandi march was there, and all the people from all the sides, from east side, west, from the Bengal side, from Assam, from everywhere, all the marchers, they marched towards this Gandhi and they supported Mahatma Gandhi to break the SALT law. And they challenged the British government, and they have done with it. The British government reacted with force. Now British government they were very angry. They thought it was impossible to the Indians, but whatever challenge they have done, this Indian people, they have done with the British, and these British people, they got very angry on them. All the leaders were arrested. Now British government, when they came to know, they came and arrested all the leaders from India, and all the salt pans that were found were destroyed. On all the salt pans where they were making the salt, what they did, they destroyed all the salt pans. But people did not let that defeat them. But people, they were very brave. They did not listen to, they never discouraged. They did not listen to these British people. They were fighting against them, and they did not allow them to destroy the salt pans. Hundreds of men and women joined the movement, and many people from India, like hundreds of people, they joined this movement. Every time the British destroyed one salt pan, the Indians started a new one. As they were destroying one salt pan, the other Indian, they were trying to make the other salt pan. In this way, these Britishers, they were destroying the salt pans, but Indians were never stopped. They started the new one. On 5th March, on 5th March, they broke the Salt Act on 5th March, Salt Law on 5th March. On 5th March 1931, means approximately after a year, the Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed. These British people, now they were fed up, because Indians were not at all ready for this, and they were not at all listening to these British people. So after a year, we can see on 5th March 1930, they broke the salt law. But on 5th March 1931, the pact was signed between Gandhiji and Lord Irwin, that the British gave into some Indian demands, and whatever demands Gandhiji had done in his letter, some demands were accepted by this British. One of these was that Indians would make their own salt. Finally, the law which was done for the making of salt by the Indians was finally what this Gandhiji he did. Through this marching, what he did, he broke the salt law, and finally the British, they accepted the demands of Indian, and they allowed this Indian people to make the salt. So in this way, Gandhiji very bravely, he started with his march along with his supporters, along with his followers, and finally he reached Dandi and he broke the salt law. So many such more things were done by Mahatma Gandhi, and he fought very bravely with this British people. He broke many laws, and it was not like he was not like a criminal, we can say. He was just fighting against the injustice of this British people, and he forced by his actions, or by his by his plans, he used to force the British people to overcome all these things. And finally, these British people used to get fed up of these Indian leaders, and they were forced to accept the demands which were made by the Indian people. So this was all about Gandhiji, how he marched to Dandi and how he broke the salt law, and he fought against the injustice, because children see, these British people, they have forced the Indians that they will not make the salt, and we can say again they have to buy the expensive salt from the British people. Means the Indian people again and again they have to suffer only for all these things. So this Gandhiji, he did not at all, he did not listen to him. He wrote a letter to Lord Irwin, and he passed some of the demands, but Lord Irwin, he did not accept, and he took it very lightly. He thought, these people, they just write and they just do it. But he was not knowing, one or the other day, Gandhiji, he was waiting for the reply from him, but he did not reply anything properly, means he did not do any justice. So finally Gandhiji, what he decided, that he set out to come out in the action that we will march to Dandi and we will break the salt law. So in this way he broke the salt law and he gave the justice to the Indian people to make their own salt. So in this way many things Gandhiji he had done for our country. So children, this was the thing which we have seen in this lesson. So one thing, see children, in every lesson we get a moral through these stories, or we get a moral through these events, we can say. So from this lesson also one thing you are going to learn, that you will never bear the injustice, we can say. You have to be very prompt, we can say. You have to strive very hard until and unless you get your proper reply, until and unless you strive very hard for the things. And the thing which we are going to learn from this lesson, that we have to strive very hard. No other person should keep an eye on our country. So we have to be very alert, we have to be very brave, we have to support our Indian people in doing the good things. So this was all about the march to Dandi. Children, if you see, here the meanings are there. They have given that impose, force someone to follow. Impose means we have to force someone to follow the rules. So they have imposed the tax. They impose, this word, it comes from the British people. They were used to impose the people. They used to force the people to obey them, and which was against the rule. Then second, if you see tax, tax is what? Money every citizen pays the government. See children, now also our people are, we pay the tax to our government. See, and the thing is what? The person sent by the king or queen of England to rule in their place when the British ruled India was called the viceroy. What is the meaning of viceroy? Viceroy, this Lord Irwin, who was the viceroy, who was he? He was a person by the king, sent by the king or by the queen of England to rule in their place. Now suppose the prime minister is there, but we have some other ministers along with him to help him. So this viceroy, he was a British ruler, we can say, from India. He was a British ruler in India in those days, and he was called as viceroy. Then next meaning, if you see, keep a lookout. Keep a lookout means to watch for someone or something. Outcome means what will be the result. Then wade, to walk in the shallow water. Last, if you see challenge, here if you see challenge means invited or dared to fight against. We challenge, isn't it? So pact, what is pact? It is a formal agreement, it is a written agreement. And gave in means accepted. At last British, they accepted the Indian demands which was given by Gandhiji. This was all about the march to Dandi. Children, if you see, if you see the next page over here, complete these sentences in your own words. According to the salt law, it was unfair because Gandhi chose to march to Dandi, because after Gandhi broke the salt law. According to the Gandhi Irwin Pact. This complete the sentences, you can write it in your own words in your textbook. So here if you can see some questions are there, that what made Gandhi very angry, why, what was Gandhi's plan, how was the reaction of the British different from the Indian reaction to the marchers, what happened on 6th April 1930, what did the British government do when people broke the salt law. This all answers you are going to just mark down in your textbook. You read, you go through this lesson, you read the lesson carefully, underline the difficult words, read the meaning, learn the meanings, and try to find out the question answers from the lesson. Children, if you see, one more thing is there on the page, you can see on the page 13 over here, page 13, think and answer. According to the salt law, Indians could no longer make their own salt, but were forced to buy British salt. In addition to this, salt could be made in India only by the British government. It was also made more expensive. Two things were told to them, that they should not make the salt. These Indian people were not supposed to make the salt, and the other thing was what? They were forced to buy their expensive salt. What do you think the aim of the British government was? What was their aim? Just try to answer this. Who would suffer the most because of this law? Who will suffer? Either British government or the Indian people. What do you think of Gandhi's decision to break the salt law? Was Gandhi's decision was right or wrong to break the salt law? So all these things you have to just jot down the points and try to answer these questions. I hope children you have understood this lesson, and try to read the lesson, learn the meanings and underline the hard words. Thank you.